Hello, my dear children. Welcome back to our math class. I hope that you all are going on well. Did you understand the previous class activities very well? Okay, very good. Let's start our today's class. See the first question. 30 liters and 500 milliliters of paint was bought to paint the house. 6 liters was used on the first day and 5 liters 500 milliliters on the second day. How much paint is left? Children, how much paint was bought to paint the house? Yes, 30 liters and 500 milliliters. So, total quantity of paint bought equals 30 liters 500 milliliters. How much paint was used on the first day? Yes, 6 liters. So, quantity of paint used on the first day equals 6 liters. How much paint was used on the second day? 5 liters 500 milliliters. So, quantity of paint used on the second day equals 5 liters 500 milliliters. Next, we have to find out the total quantity of paint used. That is, total quantity of paint used equals 6 liters plus 5 liters 500 milliliters, which is equal to 11 liters 500 milliliters. That is, total quantity of paint used equals 11 liters 500 milliliters. Next, we have to find out how much paint is left. Children, you know that 30 liters and 500 milliliters of paint was bought to paint the house. From this, 11 liters and 500 milliliters was used. So, quantity of paint left equals 30 liters 500 milliliters minus 11 liters 500 milliliters, which is equal to 2 liters. That is, quantity of paint left equals 2 liters. Let's do the next activity, honey. Appu Vaidyar had 3.5 liters of honey in his shop. He first filled 10 bottles of 50 milliliters. The rest he used to fill 100 milliliter and 200 milliliter bottles. How many bottles of each type did he use? What is the total number of honey in each type of bottle? If the number of bottles are to be equal, how much honey should be filled in each type of bottle? Let's write the details in a table. Children, how much is the total quantity of honey in his shop? Yes, 3.5 liters. That is 3 liters and 500 milliliters. Here, Appu Vaidyar filled honey in 50 milliliter, 100 milliliter and 200 milliliter bottles. He first filled 10 bottles of 50 milliliters. That is, one bottle contains 50 milliliters of honey. Then 10 bottles contain 10 times 50 milliliters. That is, 10 into 50 milliliters equals 500 milliliters. Children, total there was 3 liters and 500 milliliters of honey. From this, 500 milliliter of honey is filled in 50 milliliter bottles. Then how much honey is left? Yes, 3 liters. The balance honey he used to fill 100 milliliter and 200 milliliter bottles. Next, Appu Vaidyar filled 100 milliliter of bottles. Suppose he take 10 bottles of 100 milliliters, how much honey can fill it? Yes, 10 times 100 milliliters. That is, 10 into 100 milliliters equals 1000 milliliters, which is equal to 1 liter. Children, from 3 liters of honey, 1 liter is filled in 100 milliliter bottles. Balance 2 liters. Next, he filled 200 milliliter of bottles. Suppose he take 10 bottles of 200 milliliters, how much honey can fill? Yes, 10 times 200 milliliters. That is, 10 into 200 milliliters equals 2000 milliliters, which is equal to 2 liters. That is, the remaining 2 liters of honey is filled in 200 milliliter of bottles. Children, listen to the question. How many bottles of each type did he use? He used 10 bottles of 50 milliliters, 10 bottles of 100 milliliters and 10 bottles of 200 milliliters to fill 3 liters and 500 milliliters of honey. Children, listen to the next question. What is the total amount of honey in each type of bottle? That means, what is the total quantity of honey in each type of bottle? He filled 500 milliliter of honey in 50 milliliter bottles, 1 liter of honey in 100 milliliter bottles and 2 liters of honey in 200 milliliter bottles. Children, listen to the next question. If the number of bottles are to be equal, how much honey should be filled in each type of bottle? Here, all type of bottles are same in number. That is, number of 50 milliliter bottles are 10, number of 100 milliliter bottles are 10 and number of 200 milliliter bottles are 10. See children, how much honey is filled in each type of bottle? Yes, 500 milliliter of honey in 50 milliliter bottles, 1 liter of honey in 100 milliliter bottles and 2 liters of honey in 200 milliliter bottles. Total 3 liters 500 milliliters. I hope that you all understood today's class very well. It's the time to wind up today's class. Thank you.